Hello, everybody. Got a great show coming up. Got my friend Dave Sundstrom counting down the top 5 lockdown songs. He's doing his video on his channel and then coming over here on my channel. So we kind of split it up. So go check out his video that's out right now and then come watch this or watch it backwards. But, but just watch it. Dave, what a guy. Check it out. Here. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. And guess what? I've got a special guest today, a great friend that I haven't really seen face to face, but now I can say,
Gary,
we've talked face to face. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Sundstrom. And I consider you honestly probably the nicest guy on YouTube. I don't know if I've ever said that before. But, the first time I ever saw you, of course, you were talking about Steve Perry, and you have this calming voice that's really, and you're very informative. I mean, you make people want to listen, and not just about Steve Perry, but, you talk about whatever happened to this person in this show. And I'm thinking, man, I got to watch all these shows now. Because Dave, you painted a picture with your words, and that's what I love to do too, and you just make people want to listen to you. So way to go, Dave, and you've got a pretty good following over there on
thanks.
YouTube.
Thanks, Gary.
It's all about that.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to finally get to. I know we've chatted back and forth in comment sections of various videos and that type of thing, and on Twitter a little bit. But it's great to actually get to visit with you here and to actually put together a couple of videos, one on my channel and then this one on yours. And it's exciting. And it's exciting because there is a lot of really cool things that are happening right now that pertain to Steve Perry News. So thank you for letting me be part of this video.
Let's do it. Let's keep going. We're continuing our top, 5 of our quarantine songs, right? And if you the rest of the songs, you can go over to Dave's channel, right? And but we're continuing this top 5. We're up to number 2, right?
Yeah, I think we've done our top 3 each, right? And we shared number 4.
That's right.
And we did our top 3 each over there. So we are to number 2. Do you want to go first or you want me to?
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead,
okay.
Dave.
My number 2 is Dennis Deyoung, formerly of Styx.
Oh.
And he does a video or a rendition of a song from the Paradise Theater album, I believe. It's just Dennis. It's him on the piano. He plays a marvelous rendition of. It's interesting because Dennis talks just a little bit right before he starts playing, and he sounds like a 70-plus-year-old man. Actually sounds a little bit like a 70-plus-year-old Yenta, but he actually refers to himself as mother at one point in the video, which is a little bit odd, but it works for Dennis.
Okay.
But then he sings, and then he sounds like Dennis Deyoung, 20 years old, singing his heart out. And he closes the video by saying, maybe not, that things will get better. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but hopefully soon, and tells everybody to be safe. And it just, the power of video and music, right? Words and images. It really moved me, and it was great to see Dennis out there doing his part, trying to inspire and give a little hope.
Wow. Yeah, what an awesome song. That's another one I could have put to the side because that was a great job. And when you think about him and you think about Styx and you think, man, why can't they work something out? Why can't they get back together? I know there's different things and people talk about it, but not unlike another band.
Right.
Which brings me to number 2. Of course, during this time, different people are singing and doing a great job of their songs. And then there's some guitarists that are playing songs for us too. And then Neil Schon, of course, from Journey, he he did a cover of Amazing Grace, and it's a song he did on tour. And I was so blown away, by the song that he did. And I was kind of hinting around to his wife, maybe he could do that. And then sure enough, he did it. I don't know if it was me or if she, pulled his ear or whatever, but he did a great job, and it really hit me. And it's a special time, for people to really, come together and just think of, talking about don't stop believing, and just, you know, appreciate your life and be thankful that you're overcome so much, But it's a very inspirational song from my favorite guitar player,
Yeah,
Neil
I love it.
Shine, coming in at number 2.
I love it. I love it. You are so connected. The fact that you could, maybe not, but that you may have potentially inspired Neil to throw on the axe and do a rendition of Amazing Grace. That's awesome. It's all about planting seeds, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I hope that's another thing we were talking about on the other video on your page about Debbie Gibson, and I know that Neil follows me over on Twitter, and I don't know. I've heard he watches these videos. So if he's watching, I always throw these positive things, when some others may be kind of negative toward the current situation. I won't go into all that, but sometimes you think, it's over, I'm going to give up. But you know what? This time in the world, everybody is going through something. Everybody's going through a hard time. You can't say, well, this person, no, everybody's going through hard times, and it has a way to change hearts. So you never know. You never can say never. I've heard people say it's never going to happen. All I'm going to say, I'm going to leave it right there, but don't stop believing and never say never. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Think about all the naysayers that said Steve would never put out another album. How many people, chastised?
They gave you a hard time.
That's right. Oh, the comment section and some of those videos that I did before Traces came out are filled with people telling me what an idiot I am. And but we never stop believing, right, Gary?
Never stop.
Yep. All right. So that was your number 2, and I think our number 1 is the same as well. Do you want to do the honors? It's your video.
Okay. Of course, I would kick myself off my own page if I didn't say that number 1 is Steve Perry, In My Room. Of course, what a song. Of course, it's the Beach Boys song, and Steve said that he used to listen to it when he was younger, and it really inspired him. And he's been at home doing what we're doing. He's in isolation, and if you watch the video on YouTube, you can see the hurt in his face and the hurt in his voice. But you hear the compassion and the love he has while he was singing. He really meant what he was singing. And for the naysayers, he didn't do too shabby of a job. What say you, Dave Sundstrom?
I say he was incredible. It was a cappella, right? There was nothing else there. There may have been a little bit of echo and reverb on the mic, but an incredible version. He did say, and it's interesting, when he posted that, talked about that song giving him comfort as a teenager and was hoping that it would provide comfort for all of us now. It is so cool. I don't know if you noticed this, but Brian Wilson retweeted that video, and he also posted it on his Facebook page. So he apparently not only has the approval of Gary Stuckey and Dave Sundstrom, but the man who wrote the song, right? And anybody that has any doubt that Steve Perry, we all get old and older, and our voices they change over time. But anybody that doubts that Steve Perry doesn't have the ability to convey 360 degrees of emotion in a song through his voice, well, just go and listen to that. Can I give one shout out too? There's a guy named David Castagna. I don't know if you've heard his. He does a lot of Steve Perry covers, piano. He's a keyboards guy, and he's taken a synth of some sort of keyboard, and thrown some strings, kind of a string accompaniment to Steve's a cappella version, which is breathtaking as well. So I love that version as well. But just before you listen to that version, you got to listen to Steve raw, alone,
Yeah.
in isolation himself, singing In My
Right.
Room. It's beyond moving.
Right. It sure is. Uh, there's another story that I've told some people about. Brian Wilson's daughter, Carney Wilson, another
Right.
follower of mine on Twitter. She goes live over on Instagram a lot, right? And she has this voice she does when she sings. She's a nut. She's crazy. She's funny, and she makes everybody smile during this awful time. But she's doing this voice called Svetlana, right? And so she's she's like this Russian voice, and she crosses her eyes, and she's kooky. So I said, why don't you do some Steve Perry songs? And she's a big Steve Perry fan. I said, why don't you do some Steve Perry songs? So she's singing, and then she does Open Arms, and you can check it out on my Instagram. I shared it on my Instagram page. But she's singing Open Arms. She's crossing her eyes, and she's singing. And I told her, I said, my dad's favorite song by the Beach Boys is In My Room. And would you know, a few days later, Steve Perry shows up and does In My Room. And I thought, is he watching? Is he watching her live? I don't know, but it was, what a coincidence, right? But yeah, he sure did the song, you know. Maybe it was just in our minds, together, but what a perfect song to do. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Steve Perry's song In My Room, perfect song, perfect time for all the fans that have been waiting to hear from Steve, right? Everybody was like, where's Steve? I want to hear from Steve. He needs to go live, which would be cool. And maybe one day, Dave, he'll go and do this.
Right.
Steve, if you're watching, me or Dave.
Both of us. We'll get a Zoom session going, and we'd love to visit with you, Steve.
Come on, Steve. What do you say? I believe it's going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, but I feel it. I feel it coming.
That'd be great. So should we talk about? Yeah, let's talk about the Steve Perry legacy. There's a Facebook group, and Gary and I, because of our videos, have become connected with a number of different groups on Facebook. But there's really, in my mind, there's one Facebook group, aside from Steve's actual page and the information that you can get there. But there's a group called Steve Perry Legacy, and they're led by three ladies, Davita Williams, Sandra Tyson, and Patricia Bloomer, all great people. And they just, again, they're trying to do through the channel of Facebook, through that means of communication, a lot of the things that we've done with our videos, which is, foster an environment of positivity. They were scheduled to go to Hanford, California here in March, and that had to be canceled for them. They like to get together, and that's Steve Perry's hometown, by the way, and that was canceled, obviously, because of everything going on in the world. But they were able to, part of what they do is they pick a couple of different causes and get their group to make some donations. And these are causes that they know Steve's passionate about as well. And this year it was a animal shelter as well as a domestic abuse shelter for women, I believe. And they were able to raise, I think there were donations were sizable, like $1,300 for each group. So I know that both Gary and I were tagged on a post that Davita or Patricia or Sandra, I can't remember which one, made, but a post in that group. And I said that we talk about it and talk about the good things that they're doing over there on that Facebook page.
That's right. What an awesome gesture. And also, there's another lady included in there named Denise Van Velsen, who I think she was over the domestic violence portion that was helping.
Okay.
She's a really good friend of mine, and she's like one of the first people that I talked to about Steve and Journey whenever Steve came back out and started singing again. But yeah, what an awesome thing they're doing. And that page has so many things that you can be a part of, and not just a fan of Steve, but promoting all these good things to help out, these women and the shelters and the animals, and just positive things that I like to be a part of. And there's nothing wrong with that. So go check out that page, Steve Perry Legacy, uh, and be a part of that team. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Steve approves.
I have a hunch he's a-okay with the work that those fine individuals are doing over there. And I echo what you said, Gary, which is go be part of that group. You don't have to. I'm more often than not, I'm just a lurker. I like to read the posts. I don't actually post all that much to that Facebook group, but I sure enjoy reading and seeing what they're doing and seeing how they are uh, taking the positive music that Steve Perry does and then channeling it in a different direction and doing all sorts of good things out there in the world.
Right. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's why I do what I do. That's why, to Martha Quinn, that's why she does what she does. Positive music, being positive for people, not just through this trial, but through every trial we go through, and being there for each other. And appreciate you, Dave, for all you do. And, just you have this, just awesome personality that just shines. And it really, makes people, you know, they're drawn to you. Let's just say that. So I appreciate you, Dave.
Well, my pleasure, and right back at you, Gary. It's been a thrill for me to be able to do these videos with you. Thank you for taking some time to do them.
Yes, sir. No problem. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
hey, who knows, and we'll be standing by for any Steve Perry news or anything that comes our way. And so thanks, Dave. And until next time, everybody, whatever you do, don't stop believing. This is Gary Stuckey and Dave Sundstrom. Don't stop believing.